Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Aaron, and today I want to talk to you guys about possible future content that I think Skull and Bones needs, especially to thrive. So in the background, you're gonna see my schooner build. If you didn't see that, that will be in the description below, and you'll see just how much damage this thing does. And I haven't even fully built it yet. So Skull and Bones, I believe, is an MMO. I'm going to call it an MMO. I don't know if other people think it's a different type of game, maybe an RPG or whatever, but I think it's an MMO. That's just my opinion, whether it's right or not. I don't know. It's an opinion at the end of the day. And with most MMOs have a hell of a lot of content. However, we've technically been doing the same content for Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, and now back again with Season 1. And the content, basically, we're just building the helm. That's all we've done for a whole year straight, and it's all we're going to do until Season 2. However, that doesn't mean that Season 2 is actually going to change anything. All I've seen so far, again, we haven't been shown everything, I'm pretty sure, but all I've seen so far is large ships. That's what's coming in Season 2. However, large ships are not enough to keep players interested, I believe. So I want to talk about possible content that the developers could possibly add to make sure that we aren't getting burnt out, we aren't getting bored of the game, because, as I said, we have done this gameplay loop for a whole year now, and I am experiencing a bit of burnout. However, I'm not playing for hours a day. I did at the start of this season. However, I'm not anymore. I log on, I do a few Oostons, and that's basically it, because there's literally nothing else that anyone's doing, and I absolutely hate being solo. I prefer playing with others. I think it's more fun. However, as I was saying, with MMOs, they have trials, they have raids, they have dungeons, for example. Now, Skull and Bones can implement something like this. What I mean is, each season they could bring out 2 voyages, let's call them, because we are pirates, so let's call them voyages. And what these voyages are role-based content, which means people are going to be tanking, people are going to be healing, and then there's going to be a DPS or 2 DPS or however many. So I think role-based gameplay is going to be amazing because it gives people a reason to build healers, to build tanks properly so they can take a bunch of damage. Although I don't think tanks are in the best place right now, especially with tier 2, because they can't take the damage that they should be able to take. However, in role-based content, that could be infinite. They could put this role-based content behind a queue system, and then you queue up as a tank, you queue up as a DPS, or you queue up as a healer. And then the group formation could be 1 tank, 1 healer, 2 DPS, for example. And then we get loaded in when the queue is popped. We get loaded into a new zone, and that is when the voyage starts. We could go through cave systems, for example. We could go through pirate coves. We could go on the open ocean to tackle pirates or whatever it may be, or to tackle sea creatures. And then it could be a bunch of mobs, and then we load into a boss zone. We kill the boss, and then we continue through the voyage, more mobs, and then we got another boss. And then we continue, more mobs, more mob phases, and then there's a massive fort plunder or something at the end. That is the type of content that I want to see. Now, the rewards in this content could vary. You could get pieces of 8, essential modules, upgrade parts, whatever it may be. You could get cosmetics. You could even include exclusive weapons built for endgame content. So I've got a feeling large ships. So we've got broadsides now. You put 1 weapon on the broadside and another weapon on the broadside, and that gives you a bunch of gun ports. I've got a feeling that there's going to be 2 broadside weapon placements on the large ships, which means you're gonna need more weapons. I don't know. That's just an assumption of mine, because I'm sure like 1 broadside weapon can't give you about 18 gun ports. weapons, if you know what I mean. So I feel there's going to be more than one placement on the broadsides for a weapon, and there isn't actually that many overpowered or slash endgame weapons in the game. All the weapons seem to be pretty in line with each other, meaning the DPS can't actually fully DPS correctly, tanks can't actually tank correctly, because everything is just so balanced within each other, and there is no endgame available. Anyone who says that doing the helm is endgame, I'm sorry, but even though doing the helm was something that we all focused on, it really wasn't endgame. Endgame is what keeps you. It keeps you interested. It gives you the end game weapons and all that stuff. Now everyone can say that, yeah, we got end game weapons from Unita, and it's like, no, we got end game weapons from pretty much events. That's where we got all the weapons from. Like Divine Thunder was from the Smuggler's Pass. Nashcars, I think, was Smuggler's Pass as well. However, that might have been. Oh, the heliport was an event. So all these weapons actually haven't come from Unita, and the whole endgame loop, that's what it was labeled as, wasn't much endgame at all. You were just emptying manufacturers, which just isn't an endgame content in the slightest. So I would like to see voyages, and I would like to see exclusive weapons to make them worth farming. Again, if I get the feeling that large ships are going to be in line with medium ships, maybe they'll make them much slower or something like that. But in some way, the devs want variety, and there isn't going to be variety, because large ships should be significantly stronger and take significantly more damage than medium ships. There shouldn't be a balance between large and medium ships, unless they royally mess something up and just make large ships pretty much useless, so you might as well run the medium ships. I don't know what to expect. However, content in this game right now, and from what I've seen in the trailer, is lacking. Now, I do expect content in Season 3, because in Season 3, there is sword fighting. So I expect a bunch of content from Season 3. I'm hoping for a map expansion in Season 2, but who knows? I'm hoping that we have to go to a completely new city to go build a large ship or something like that, because maybe the people in St. Anne or Telok don't have the know-how or the knowledge to make something like a galleon or a frigate or something like that. So a map expansion would be very handy, very useful, and it would open up more content. However, a queue system, my opinion, is what this game really needs. I would like to be able to queue up for maybe some forts, and a queue system that reaches the entire game, not a call for help system that people only answer if it's Houston. And that call for help system only reaches the actual lobby. So if you're in a lobby with 5 people, for example, which I have been a few times, it's only going to reach 5 people, and that call for help just isn't going to do anything, which is why I will always say a queue system is better. You can even do your boss fights, your Tianning, for example, under a queue system, because, you know, there are certain ways to farm certain things. If you need her chests or want her cosmetics, a queue system would be more beneficial, in my opinion. And I think so. It's not a queue system of 3 ships attacking it. I think it should be a queue system of 8, because even in tier 2, 8 ships, that Tianning ship takes a good while. The pest still annoying, no matter how many ships are after him. So the bosses are in a good place, I think. It's just the system behind the game right now, which is just not in a good place. Again, this is just my opinion. You guys might have other opinions. Let me know in the comments section what your opinions are. But I think a queue system will definitely help this game, and also voyages slash raids with multiple bosses, maybe a fort plunder at the end with some exclusive weapons, exclusive endgame weapons and armor, and maybe a way to enhance your ship survivability, whether that's your armor or the whole health in general, maybe with certain perks for your ship rather than just your weapons. I don't know. They could do a lot. They're not doing a lot right now. but we'll see what this leads to. And I'm just hoping for much more content. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new and you want to make your way back to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.